popping up there. There we go. All right, so we got that going in case anybody is late and they want to come back to this, and because sometimes it's a good thing to go back and review because listening to things sometimes doesn't always get it. I know sometimes I have problems hearing things. I'm partially deaf. Uh, to know the truth, I actually have to wear hearing aids, and it's not because of my age. I don't want you to think it's because of that. It's because somebody decided to run a red light. And I had one of those nice little two-seater sports cars, and they plowed right into it. And so, and because of that, it blew out my eardrums when I was in my 20s. So I've had the wonderful privilege of having these things through there. So that is a way of looking at how life can quickly change. And some would say it's, oh my gosh, that's a horrible thing. But it's not necessarily because it makes you appreciate things, makes you see things in different lights. And one of the reasons why I bring this up is we plan, we think, we know exactly what we're going to do. How many know about what you want to do? You kind of plan ahead. We're doing these career plans. We see where we're going, et cetera, et cetera. How many people have an idea of where they want to go, what they want to do type situations? You got those plans. I hope you have those plans. It's part of an assignment coming up, but you kind of got that. Where's those emojis? Drop it in the chat box. Unmute your mics. Yeah, you kind of have that. I want you to make your careers as solid as possible. Okay. And the way you do that is through those skills, through the planning and everything, because sometimes things don't work out and it's okay. And I want you to be aware of that. You may not necessarily like your career 100%, but it doesn't mean that it's all lost. You can change, you can pivot, you can move into a different branch. Those of you who become medical assistants, you might want to become a nurse, you might want to become a radiologist or a radiology technician, things like that. Somebody who's in the electrical field, you may want to only do commercial, you may want to only do residential, you may specialize in motors and relays, etc. So you can pivot, you can change. And one of the things I want to bring up, just so you're aware, is training. Along the way, you're going to be offered training. And this is a word of advice. And everything in this class, I want you to remember, just like I told you yesterday, advice is something that you can use or you can use it, you can leave it. But this is the advice I have. How many people have been offered to learn something new or do something new, and somebody always goes, will I get paid more for it? How many have heard this? Will I get paid more for this? You've seen this happen. I know you have. First thing out of somebody's mouth, will I get paid more for it? Yes. Please don't be that person. Okay, I want you to rethink this. Take the training, get the education. Why? It's free. Okay. Take the training. Then, if they do not give you money, pull out that resume, add those new skills to the resume, job search. While you're working there, job search, look for another job because that new addition to that resume, if they won't give you the money, somebody else will. Okay. Remember, you're your own business. Take their education and get you the money. Okay, everybody got that? One way or the other, you will get paid for it. But if you just keep asking, will I get paid? Will I get paid? They will stop giving you the education. Okay? Take the education, get the money. If you ask for the money, you don't always get the education. So the way we think things through sometimes changes the way things happen. Okay, so try to always look for the positive spin because no matter what, we have to get through things. We don't have a choice. We have to go through things. It's the way the world works. It moves forward with our blessing or not. So look for the positive way through. When things get the worse, list everything down you need to do, and then list the things you absolutely can do. Things you can't do, that's it. You cannot do them. No matter what, don't try to kill yourself over trying to do things you simply can't. It goes that way in your private life and your work life. If you simply can't, you cannot. Find someone who can help you, assist you, teach you, guide you, anything. But if something you can't, you're at a roadblock there. And banging your head on the table does not work. All right, everybody got that? You can see how you can resolve problems. List everything that needs to be done, then break it into sections on what you can do and simply what you cannot. And the ones you cannot, that's the ones you seek help with. All right? And that's a breakdown of conflict resolution there. All right? And hopefully that will help guide you. Now, before we go into the weekend here, is there anything that anybody needs to help with from everything that's happened this week? Any guidance, anything that you haven't reached out through email to either myself or Dr. Parker? Does anybody have anything? No? All right. So let's get to getting here. No, I thought I heard a microphone there. All right. Okay, so let's get to getting here because how many of us want the weekend? Sad news about Ace Frehley. I'm upset. I'm a Kiss fan. If somebody hasn't heard, unfortunately, he has no longer with us. Um, so I'm saddened by that. I love my music. I know a lot of people in the music industry. Those of you who are in the electrical careers, music industry is something that's very big. There's a lot of electric and sound. Those of you in the welding careers, think about those type of businesses for creating riggings and stuff like that. Requires a lot of welding to build those stages, things like that. You may not always think of the entertainment industry for those type of situations. Those of you who are in HVAC, think about the venues that those things take place in, all the beverage, refrigeration, things like that. A concert, any type of media events, any of those large things, your careers are impacted by those things greatly. So when you're looking for places that may seek you out for employment, think about those locations. Look around. We are in a mecca of tourism. Those places are looking for you constantly. All right. So let's take a look. We are down here all the way into week 3 again. And this time we are going to go all the way down into Thursday here. You have your conference, of course, and then this career plan. Um, on this one here, going all the way back in week 1, you did a career plan. Step 1. How many people remember doing this? Looking for those emojis. If you remember doing this, you did your long-term goals. Those were the things you want to do way out there. And this seems kind of backwards. You did those long-term goals. Now we're going to put short-term goals in them. And people always tell me this, that they think this is backwards. But it's not when you think of it as the same way you do when you're going to go on a trip. When you pull out that Google map or Waze or any of the other ways that you use to get there, what do? You put in that destination, right? You put in the destination. And what does it do? It fills in all the route all the way up to it. It's the same thing with your career plan. Now, there's always going to be those who, I don't plan anything. I just kind of let it go with the flow. And that's actually a type of plan. You don't want to be locked down into things, but you still have to move forward or you're never going to get to what you want. And if you don't plan, don't be disappointed if you got exactly what you didn't plan. Nothing. Okay. A good plan is flexible. If you think that it's, oh, I one little thing and I won't make it, you made your plan too tight. Allow for change, allow for flow and growth. Okay. So take a look at that plan. And now, how are you going to get there? An example I like to use is graduating from Southern Tech. That was your ultimate plan when you walk through those doors. I want to graduate. Okay. What does it take? Showing up, either in person or online. Showing up, that's on there. That's one of your short-term goals. I need to show up. What else is on there? I need to complete assignments. Okay. Underneath completing assignments, I need to do them on time. I need to do them thoroughly. I need to do them with intent to do well. Anybody can throw things together, but are you putting forth the effort? Okay. How many people would say they have a good work ethic? You have a good work ethic. I would hope everybody thinks they do. Yeah. This is what I tell people. When you say you have a good work ethic, your lowest level quality of work, that's your work ethic. Your lowest level of work quality, that is your true work ethic. Because people with a strong work ethic, you don't put out low quality. You don't put low quality out in anything you do. If you have a strong work ethic, your assignments in class, they're top notch. Why? Because it represents you. You're the quality. Show your worth. You are worth quality. And why is that so important? Because there are times when that is going to be very reflective of you. When you get that employer that says, what were your transcripts? How did you do when you were at Southern Tech? They want to know because those grades will be reflective of how well you did in that shop, how well you did in that laboratory. They want to know. How was your attendance? Okay. They'll ask those things because how well you attended your classes might be indicative of how well you're going to show up at their place of employment. There's reasons for these things. Keep your work ethic up. Always do quality work. Okay. I was always told that if I was cleaning toilets for a living, those better be the best clean toilets ever. And I've had to do that. If you worked at a Denny's and you worked at a Walmart like I did, and you slept in your car in between classes like I did, you had to do things like that. Now, I'm not telling you that so you go, oh, he's going for sympathy. No, I don't think that that was near as difficult as some of the things that y'all have to do, because I think things are a little bit harder now. And I am in awe of what you all accomplish in your day to day. And I will never, ever say, I know exactly what you're doing, because that would be a lie. In your career planning, I want you to take this serious. I want you to think about those long-term goals and the steps to take. Owning a house, owning a car, moving ahead, what company you want to work for, and how to do this. It's going to look like this. Here's your long-term goal. up here, and these are the short term to look up to it. Okay. Now, right here, I'm going to show you. You click on this, and it is the form you need to use. Not optional. You need to use this. If you can't print it or pull it up and edit it, then recreate it by writing it out and taking a picture of it. Okay? With your long-term goal, then your short-term goal. Now, SMART goals are very much like each of those goals. The difference is it gives you a timeline or a quantity or something that is measurable. Okay, that's the difference between a goal and a SMART goal, is it's measurable. Okay, it sounds difficult, but it is not once you start thinking about it. Put your dreams into motion. And that's how you get there. All right. The other thing for Thursday is this professional network. How many people network now? Anybody? How many people network? And I don't mean ABCCDS. But how many people reach out and talk to people in your career? There we
I've got
go.
like 10 years worth of contacts in my phone that, guys that I've worked with and other guys that, I reach out to when I'm looking for work and see if they need help. Typically, we move around, but there's kind of a tight knit community that we have. And, we kind of stick together and help each other out and find jobs. So,
That is excellent. And that's exactly what it's about. So, and that's great, especially when you said the keywords, you move around and about. Okay. We are a mobile country. We do move about. And there might be a time where you don't want to be here in Florida. You may want to relocate. And the fact that you have contacts other place, hey, I'm thinking of relocating to such and such. Do you know a contact point in boom? Okay. I always tell people if you're not networking, you're not working. All right. You want to be in contact with people so you can share ideas, share techniques, find out where there's new opportunities, either for you or you may need people where you work. It is a way to find out what if things are changing in your work environment that you don't like. Maybe it's happening elsewhere. Oh, I want to go to this company because I don't like what's happening here. Now you find out it's also happening there. Don't jump ship here just to go where it's also happening. Maybe it's something that has to do with the nature of the business itself. We see very similar things happening in steel mills and places like that. So these are things that you want to consider. Okay. So why is it so important? Those reasons. You can get incredible information, skills that you can only get from being out there. Okay. Here in schools, we teach you the correct, proper ways of doing it. Then you're going to get your own flares. You're going to learn your way of doing things. Okay. Give you an example. We teach you when you're doing vaccines, things, etc., that you never, ever, ever put the syringe in your mouth in animal care. Dangerous. Makes sense. Don't put a needle in your mouth, right? Let me tell you, when I am working with a 400-pound black bear that doesn't want me to stick him with a needle that's going to make him go nighty night, I don't care. The syringe goes in the mouth. We jump on his back. I pull it out and I jab him in the neck. Any instructor that wants to tell me that I'm not going to be able to do that is more than welcome to walk into that cage and very politely walk up to Josh. And when they're picking up their body parts, tell me I can't do that. Okay. There's the proper ways to do things, and then there's going to be the ways that you develop. When you're talking to people who've been in these careers through networking long periods of time, you're going to pick up new things, better ways, things that they've developed that they simply can't get out to the schools fast enough because books take time to develop. So that's a great way to do that. So your assignment's going to be in two parts, just like it says. Why is it important to have one? Answer that question. And the second one, read this article by clicking on it. Got the article here. And then once you've finished reading that or skimming through it or however you do it, you're going to come back here and you're going to answer the question. Name three of those techniques that you would use. Not everybody's going to choose the same one. And please answer in your own words. Don't use AI. Don't plug that in. Have Gemini or Chat GPT or anything else come up with the answer. Use your own words. Trust in yourself and know that your answer is better than what any of those can come up with. All right. Now we're in week 3. And as a reminder,
I
oh,
like
go
to
ahead.
I like to use my AC or my AI as an auto like correct, if that makes sense. Like I
Okay,
usually
Grant,
just say what I say, and then it helps me grammatically correct it a little bit and tweak it up, and throw some sprinkles on there, make it look all nice and polished.
using things like Grammarly and stuff like that to check things, that's one thing. When it's replacing your words with other words, it's losing you. Okay. Now, I'll tell you here at Southern Tech, we do use detectors that go through and check those things. If it comes up more than a certain percentage, you will get it back. That is something that the instructors can check, but please remember, you are you. And just know when somebody tries to use words that are too big for their mouth, it comes across that way. So as long as you are using it for spell checking for this and that, that's one thing. When you are using it to write for you, it comes across exactly like that. So trust yourself. Uh, use those spell checkers, use those grammar checkers, but be careful how much you become dependent on them to replacing whole sentences, whole this and that. Understand? So just watch how much you rely on that. Don't let it compose the whole thing. All right? So when I say don't use them, I should say don't abuse them. Does that make more sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. I usually
Or
just like talk to it, you know what I mean, and speak to it, and then I have it write it out.
uh,
Just
uh,
and
yeah,
I know it's
speech to
probably
text
not
is
the.
different.
Yeah, that's how I like to do it, just because it's a lot faster for me, and then I would reorganize it and to try to put it in where it makes complete correct sentences, because sometimes I don't speak correctly. But
And
that's just the way that I
also
use it.
And also in any of these assignments, like here where it says start assignment on your text entry here, there is an option in case you didn't know, this one right here that looks like the little musical note. If you click there, you'll see this upload or record media. If you click this and then go to record, you're going to see this pop up here and you can say start recording and you can record a video or you could record audio right there, but it also does have speech to text in here as well. So you can do it there just like you can in Word. You can use speech to text in that. Absolutely. I know a lot of people who do it. I have some students who do have um, issues with being able to type. They're not as comfortable with it. Use technology to your advantage, always. And it's going to get more involved as people are switching with Copilot, things like that. As long as you're not losing yourself, that's the important part. All right. So that's where we're going with that as far as in when we run the checkers, what it does is it determines how much was created by human and how much was non-human. It actually can tell the difference where the human side of it and the non-human isn't. And we usually run those through like 3 or 4 different ones, and it tells us what the cutoff point is. Like this was 30% human, and this how is how much was not involved with the human at all. So it's pretty interesting how they leave their little marks behind because they all do. So that's where we are there. So you shouldn't have an issue if they would. Dr. Parker would tell you. So if nothing's been raised yet, you should be fine. All right. Okay. So that takes care of that. Um, Today's topic that we're going to do, this one's really a good topic. So I hope you enjoy this one because this one is really an important one. There's a lot of good information in this one, and it's on applying for jobs. And I know you're thinking, oh, I know how to apply for jobs, but there's always better techniques and things that we can learn, things that we can do. And so let's see what some of these are. Um, Let me make sure my pen's working here. And away we go. Okay, so we're going to talk about completing a job application, applying in person, online, methods for managing, and a job tracking spreadsheet. That sounds like a lot of fun. So this is some of the things that are you may not realize that are going on right now. 60% of the jobs right now, boom, right there, are through networking, and 75% are rejected before they reach that hiring manager. So when it says 60% are found through networking, that means that people are hearing about them from other people. They're not being posted. This is why I say if you're not networking, you're not working. You stand so much of a better chance of finding out about things if you're out there talking to people because they're letting their friends, they're letting associates know about jobs before they even get posted. And the 75% being rejected before they reach the hiring manager, these are people who are screening them. So the hiring manager may want you, but they're never even getting to you. They're being kicked out because you don't even have the keywords or your format of your resume. They don't like it. So you can be the best skilled person for the job, but you're just not able to get to the right person. Okay. Now, one of the somebody had their microphone on there. Did you have a question?
I don't have a
Brand,
question, but I was going to say it's not about what you know, it's about who you know.
a lot of times it is. It really is. And that's a very important thing. Um, it's not uncommon for me. Has anybody heard of ADP? I don't know if it was this or the morning class. I mean, I worked for ADP
Yes, I have.
for
Totally.
uh, a large number of years. And ADP is the payroll company. They process payrolls, things like that. So I did a lot of interviewing, things like that. And even to this day, it's not uncommon for me to find out about a position and I'll go through and it's like, okay, who do I know that could benefit in this position? And I'll call them up and it's like, hey, would you consider working for such and such? And I'll blind call people and try to get them to go. Now, I'm not a recruiter. I get nothing out of this. But if I know somebody and they can get into a better position, I go after them just like a headhunter. Okay. and I will send them on their way. So, and a lot of these people are out there on LinkedIn. They're searching for them. Now, one of your assignments is that LinkedIn project. If you put good information out there, don't be surprised if people come looking for you. It may not be a fun project to do for your assignment, but if you do it well, you will find people will come after and start looking for you. It is a resume, it is an application out there 24/7, and people are looking for you. Okay. Now, here's a big one. 54% are rejected just because of their social media profiles. Okay. Clean up and lock up those social media accounts. The other thing is make sure you have them. Not having one is just as bad as having a bad one. Okay. You cannot be completely off of social media out there in today's day and age, or you're completely irrelevant. You're not current and they don't want you.
Back then, oh my God. Oh my God, Philip, you were so tin, you were so
Okay.
underneath
We're picking up a lot
stress,
of
and you came to
background
me and said,
noise.
to leave the house to have meeting and pray with my team. At the time, I believe the team was about 9 people or so,
Okay.
because the hotel where you were already used to me in the meeting.
Okay. Can you mute your microphone there?
So that they would not really dad had asked you to keep one night of prayer in the house. And of course you can have the prayer.
Thank you. Okay, so the other thing is I want you to look at this here. Your resume. Your resume alone can boost your income by 7%. How many people would like somebody to walk in and say, your check is going to go up by 7%? Would you like a 7% raise right now? Wherever you're working, whatever you're making, you can have a 7% raise. Who would like that? We all would. Look at your resume, how you have it written, what skills you have. When you send that out, did you rearrange your skills to match the order in which they requested stuff? Or do you go, it's good enough? Because if you're going, it's good enough, you might, not be good enough for them. And then you're going to blame, oh, well, they didn't, blah, 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 blah. And then the excuses come out. Your effort is going to determine your wage. Okay. 5 applicants out of 250 get a face-to-face interview. You need to stack the deck in your favor. Okay. You need to stack this in your favor. All right. And so start looking at ways to do that. Okay. Now there's a lot of people looking for a new job or considering it strictly because they can't get by on the wages that they have, or they're working too many hours, or they're working too many jobs. And right here, 5 months to find a good job. Don't walk out of something you currently have. Now, I say this and I've gotten mad and I've done just that. And boy, was that stupid. I'll flat tell you, I was stupid for doing that. I got mad and I walked out. This was when I was much younger. Got mad and I walked out. And it took me a while to find a job. And it hurt me financially. You find out how quickly you could throw together a garage sale when you can't pay for things. Okay. It takes 5 months. And when it says it takes 5 months, it means for a good position. You can find some positions, but they don't pay. Everyone knows what those are. Okay, so A job application. We know what they are, right? So it gives them the information, all your personal name, addresses, things like that. When you give your own information, do not put your house number and that. Put the name of yourself, your phone number. You can put a city and a state. Do not put your street address. That is a safety issue. Okay. Professional references, employers, anything you do not fill out, put in A. Do not leave blank. That way they know that you saw it and you did not just skip it. Proofread that application. Make sure all the dates and everything match your resume. If they don't match, boom, you're kicked out. Okay. If you're putting things up on uh, a site and it asks for your resume, make sure your resume is saved as a .txt file, not a doc, not a PDF. The reason being, when you upload that resume, if it's a TXT file, it will fill out 90% of that online application for you. All right, it'll save you a lot of time. And remember, if you're applying for things online every Saturday, you cease to exist. You need to go back out there on Sunday. It's called a Sunday plan. And all those applications you need to touch or update, open them up and update them so that Monday, when those people come in and they search for applications, you stand a chance to be pulled. Because every Saturday, what happens is all these new applications come in, and come Monday, if your application was out there, it's no longer going to be pulled. It's not in the polling. It's considered old data. All right. So you can't put an application out there and expect them to keep polling it week after week after week. It doesn't work that way. All right. So a job search website is where multiple employers post employment, and they do it daily. A job board, non-aggregate is what it is. Job boards, non-aggregate, of websites which employers post job openings directly on the board. They go there and they post their jobs. It's usually their own board. Okay. Now, one that is an aggregate or an aggregator, those go out and they pull from all different websites. So when you type it in and you see a listing from this website, that website, that's all combined. That's a job aggregator. Now, when you see these things highlighted, hint, these are going to be on your final exam. All right. So those are things that are going to pop up on that final exam. Read the postings carefully. If it says required, it is that. You have to have that. Don't lie on a resume or an application and say you have something you don't. If it says it's desired and you don't have it, that's okay. They desire it, but you don't have to have it. There's lots of things I desire. I'd like to be 6'6". I'm not. I missed that by a long shot. Okay. Desired and required, two different things. Required, you have to have it. Okay. Establish a benchmark. Okay. These are things you must have before you will accept a job. I have to have this much money no matter what. I can't drive beyond this miles. Okay. I have to have insurance. What do you need to take a job? And if they don't offer it, you don't take that job. Period. That benchmark is these are the minimum requirements I have to have. Okay. Give each post and application equal weight. If you're going, well, I'm going to put more effort into this one than that one, then the one you weren't going to put as much effort into, don't do it at all. Why bother? If you don't think it's as equal as the other one, don't do it. Okay. do each one of them carefully. Proofread it, because once it's there, it's too late. Okay. Search for job title and location. One of the big things is people start searching for jobs, but they don't put in the location and they pull jobs from everywhere. And they're like, oh, this sounds great. Oh, it's not near me. Oh, this one. Oh, that one's not near me. Put in where you want and it will cut down all the garbage. Okay. Look at all of them before you decide to start filling out. It'll be quicker that way. Okay. See if they have an exact email of a person, and if so, send directly to them. Make sure you research so you don't get scammed. In that research, look for misspellings, typos, real addresses. Okay. Fake places don't have real addresses. Make sure that company's legit and follow any instructions that say how to apply, because some will say on Mondays and Tuesdays we take applications at this address. That means fill out the application and take it there. If that's the case, be prepared to do an on-site interview just in case. Okay. Some will tell you to go there for the application. Okay, this example says retail businesses. Some shops will want you to do that, like electrical shops, welding shops, things like that. They may want you to come there to pick it up because they kind of want to do a once over on how you look. Veterinary, sometimes they want you to come there as well. Sometimes it's easier for them. And don't be surprised in the veterinary field, you will have to do a working interview. That means they will have you come in scrubs and they will have you work alongside them for part of a day to see if you fit in. So at those working interviews, you do not get paid for. So you're going to work possibly a couple of hours and you won't get paid, but they want to make sure that you are skilled and you're compatible with the department that you're going to work in. Okay. You need to make sure that resume and that cover letter are with you and you have multiple copies in case you have to meet multiple people. Take those and you paper clip them. Never ever staple your letters and everything together. It's a paper clip. You can put it in a folder, but paper clip them. Don't staple people's stuff. Okay? Make sure you have that for every person you could possibly meet. 1 week after applying, you're going to call them. Let them know that you are checking to see if a decision had been made and you are still interested and you look forward to your next interview. All right. Time management. Okay. Make sure that you're starting to become more time management approachable. Keep track of your time on calendars, on post-it notes, on your phone, anything so that you are capable of handling multiple things and staying up to date on them. Okay. Make sure your employment documents are all ready to go. Your resumes, your cover letters, your references, everything, so that you're ready if they say, I want to see you in an hour, boom, 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 boom. That an hour is a little unreasonable, but if they did, you would have everything ready to go. Not that you're hunting around trying to find everything. And that job alerts, you know, if this place releases job listings on Fridays, you look for those and make sure you have any apps that you need. This is the hardest thing right here. It is common to apply and not receive a response. It is not you. Okay, it's very common. And you can't tell if they've read your resume or cover letter. Okay, you really can't tell. Even if you set the flag, if they've opened it, if they've read it, it tells the email, not the actual contents. Okay. On average, for every 15 to 20 applications you send out, you might get a response. Not necessarily a good response, but a response, period. But you don't wait for one. As soon as you apply for one, you apply for the next, you apply for the next. You go to an interview, you keep applying. You don't stop for them, right? Now, just like yesterday, you'll name 2 things that you've learned today. That's going to be your assignment for attendance, but we're going to move on. Okay. This one here, create a schedule with an end goal of when employment is needed. Most people need it immediately. Okay. Set notifications for any responsibilities. I have to have a resume by this date. I have to send this on. Whatever you do, time management's different for everybody. You have to find which one works for you. Now, this works out for everybody. And when you see this, don't think you have to do it this way. We're going to talk about this. This is a job tracking spreadsheet. Okay. You have your title, the company that you were applying for, their address, your URL, blah, blah, blah. And it goes on all the way across. You don't have to make it this complicated, and you don't have to use a computer to do so. You can write this out on a piece of paper, but the object behind here is so you can keep track of every place you've applied. Put down the important things, the company name, who you sent it to, if there was a contact, the email address, where you got it from, and the position. Something to identify so you know every place you applied. Because 20 applications in, they all start to sound the same. So try to keep track of it all. And last but not least, this positive thinking. Okay. That positive thinking right there. You have to get through things. And if you go through it negative, you're going to make it twice as hard. And I know when the world's crashing down on you, staying positive is the hardest thing, but it makes the whole process easier, not just in this, but in everything that you're going to do. So try to stay positive and think about, what did I do that I could have done better? Okay. And it's okay to think that way. Try to stop breaking yourself down. Don't ever feel like you have failed. There are things that are out of your control that you couldn't have prevented. Instead, think, what can I do to make this better? Not necessarily solved, but better. And then from there, what can I do to make that better? Always improving until the solution is there and the situation is solved. Work for better, not necessarily solution at the beginning, because you may not have an immediate solution. So stay positive during this search. Think about your qualities that no one else has, because every one of us is unique and we do have qualities. Some of us are better at this, some are better at that, da da da. Okay? And maintain those positive thoughts. You have unique abilities. You have different ways of solving things, and companies want that. They don't want everybody the same. If they have that, they are not as strong. This is why we need everybody from all different uh, places, all different mindsets, all different age groups, etc., because it gives us different perspectives on how we can work together and come up with the best ideas. Always has been, always has been. Okay, so turn that negative soft talk into more positive attitude. And that does take time, it takes effort to do that. All right, so that's what we had there. Are there any questions about anything that we had? Okay. Tyree, we went over that. Were you not there when we went over the question, or are you still missing the question? We just went over it a little while ago.
I just kind of forgot when I kept paying attention to the other stuff. I kept going. I
Okay.
remember it, but not 100% clearly in detail.
Okay. So the question was, there were 15,000 people at Wimbledon last week. Name them and their addresses. Okay. Nice, simple question. You think you can do that one? If
That
not,
sounds
name.
kind of hard.
Okay. If not, name two things that you learned tonight. All right. Out of all those things that we've covered. Okay. That a little bit better? All right.
Yep, yep.
Okay. So any questions on anything we covered, anything this week? Try to get everything caught up. Next week is short, 4 days, and the class ends at 10 o'clock. Not 11:59, 10 p.m. There are no extensions beyond that time at 10 o'clock. Everyone who is online will be booted out of the class. That's not Dr. Parker's doing, that is an IT thing. All online classes, that does happen at 10 p.m. Everybody gets booted out of the classes. You will not be able to get back in. So late assignments are not allowed to be emailed, texted, etc. So anything that needs to be graded, if you want it in on your final grade, please make sure that you have that to her. Or she won't be able to include it. The next day is too late. By then, the classes are being cleared for the following month. All right. So that is it. If there's no questions, everybody have a great weekend and catch everything up. And we start the Final Four next week. Yes, Christopher.
Mr. Haley, did you teach computer concepts?
Yes, I did.
Okay, that's where I remember you from.
Yeah,
So
are you still having nightmares from it?
no, I'm actually over. But you know you're shorting us. We don't have the music. Where's the music?
There was a minor issue with the music yesterday, so I did not have it set up today. And so I will bring that back next week. Uh, so
Alrighty.
and so, do you have a preference for music? I usually have the first person on choose the music because I have all kinds of music. I listen to everything. My favorite is punk and hardcore metal. You know that I came
Yeah,
from
let's avoid
that.
that one.
I do that, but I've also opened the class with Rapper's Delight because I like Grandmaster Flash, Melly Mel, and all the Sugar Hill and old school stuff like that as well. I do like my country music, so 90s country. Especially the ladies of that, Reba McEntire. I don't know if I could fit her hair into the screen. She had big hair back then. But what is your preference for music? I'll see what I got for you.
Give us something that's gonna excite us.
Something exciting. Okay, I'll see
Yes.
what I could come up with. All right. And we'll do that and see what we can do as far as that's concerned, and start y'all off with that. And because some of this stuff, I know it's not the most exciting topics because it's something that you know so much about because, obviously, we're at that age where we've applied, we've learned this and that, but there are better ways to do things, and you're not the only one learning. I'm constantly learning new ways to help people and to do these same things myself because you should always be looking for opportunity.
Right.
Always look for opportunity. There's always ways to move, to grow, to do this, do that. And always thank the people who help you along the way because you never know when you're going to hear back from them or this or that or how they're going to be able to assist you in the future or when you're going to work with them and you may need them as somebody to work for you. So there's all kinds of different ways that these networks come intertwined, and it's amazing how those work. So keep those things in mind, and you will go very, very, very far. All
Yes,
right.
sir. One
All
one more
right.
quick question. Next week's schedule, Monday, Tuesday,
Yes.
Wednesday. Are we having lives or are we going to be pre-recorded?
I will definitely be doing a live Wednesday. I'm going to talk with Dr. Parker if she wants me to do live Tuesday or not. She has it marked Thursday as not doing a live. And so I'm obligated to do another class for her. So I'll see if she wants me to do Tuesday or if she wants to do a recording. I know when I teach the class, I prefer to do a recording on Thursday. That way it gives you all the maximum time on the last day because I want y'all to have the most amount of time on that last day for cramming things in. I know when I was a student, that last day I had to cram stuff in just because of my work schedule. So I will find that out and I will send a text message or an email, most likely an email message out to everybody to see if everybody will know before Monday how those sessions are going to go. If they're going to be all uh, pre-recorded, live, or what combination. So you'll know
Okay.
by Monday. All right.
Sounds
That
great.
way everybody can plan ahead and do what they need to do. All right.
Sounds like a plan. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Y'all have a great weekend, and please get out there and enjoy yourself because you do have to take care of yourself along the way. All right, y'all have a good one.